Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Thursday. Here's your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Thursday, March the 18th. In today's video, I will be going over the status of the third stimulus check, as well as how Republican attorneys are threatening legal actions against the Biden administration over the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Please make sure to watch until the end of this video to learn more about the stimulus checks being deposited in the wrong accounts. But before this video starts, I am giving away another $50 Amazon gift card tomorrow evening. To enter the giveaway, all you'll need to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and then comment below.
100 million shots for the virus in the first 100 days of our office. 100 million shots in 100 days. It was considered ambitious. Some even suggested it was somewhat audacious. Experts said that the plan was, quote, definitely aggressive, and distribution would have to be seamless for us to be successful. One headline simply put it, quote, it won't be easy, end of quote. Well, it wasn't. When we took office, there was a lot that had to be done. We needed more vaccines, more vaccinators, more places for people to get vaccinated. And we needed a whole-of-government approach. So I directed Jeff Zients, the coordinator of our COVID-19 response, to put us on a war footing, and I meant that in a literal sense, to get us on track to truly beat this virus. And I'm proud to announce that tomorrow, 58 days into our administration, we will have met my goal of administering 100 million shots to our fellow Americans. That's weeks ahead of schedule, and even with the setbacks we faced during the winter storms. And there's another big step on the path to putting checks in pockets and shots in people's arms. When we crossed the 50 million doses just 3 weeks ago, I told you that every time we hit the 50 million mark, I'd update you on our progress. So here's where we are today. 8 weeks ago, only 8% of seniors, those most vulnerable to COVID-19, had received a vaccination. Today, 65% of people aged 65 or older have received at least one shot, and 36% are fully vaccinated. And that's key, because this is the population that represents 80% of the well over 500,000 COVID-19 deaths that have occurred in America. We have nearly double the amount of vaccine doses that we distribute to states, tribes, and territories each week. We have gone from 1 million shots a day that I promised in December before we were even sworn in to an average of 2.5 million shots a day, outpacing the rest of the world significantly. And here's how we accomplished this. Using the power given to a president under the Defense Production Act, we expedited critical materials in vaccine production, such as equipment, machinery, and supplies. We work with vaccine manufacturers to speed up the delivery of millions more doses and brokered a historic manufacturing partnership between competing companies.
Despite working with the federal government, TurboTax and other tax prep companies don't have the answers on why some Americans still don't have their $1,400 third stimulus checks in their right accounts or even at all. Yesterday, some users checked their accounts and found that their stimulus checks were deposited in the wrong place. That is so horrible. However, many users have said that they did update their accounts after the previous stimulus payment, but their most recent checks still ended up being deposited in accounts that they couldn't access. TurboTax reportedly told upset users that there was nothing they could do to help them, adding that they'd have to go through the IRS to try and resolve the issue. But the IRS has stated that the payments made to close accounts will be returned to the IRS and reissued in less than 2 weeks. Some have already been sent back, and others can use a Get My Payment tool to see where their payments are at. Now, Republican attorney generals are threatening legal action against the Biden administration over the new $1.9 trillion economic relief package. Republican officials claim the measure is unconstitutional. And this past Tuesday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen received a 7-page letter from Republican officials. And in that letter, Republicans argued that the stimulus package, specifically the $350 billion included within to help states and counties, limits those governments' ability to lower taxes for citizens should they want to. Absent a more sensible interpretation from your department, this provision would amount to an unprecedented and unconstitutional intrusion on the separate sovereignty of the states through federal usurpation of essentially one half of the state's fiscal ledgers. We ask that you confirm that the American Rescue Plan Act does not prohibit states from generally provoking tax relief through the kind of measures listed and discussed above and other similar measures, but at most precludes express use of the funds provided under the Act for direct tax cuts rather than for the purposes specified by the Act. So what do you think, everyone? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. On Tuesday, a White House official told Washington Post that the Congress did the right thing in stipulating certain conditions for localities that receive federal relief money. The White House official also stated, so if a state does cut taxes without replacing the revenue in some other way, then the state must pay back to the federal government pandemic relief funds up to the amount of the lost revenue. The bill does not say that states cannot cut taxes at all, but instead simply instructs them to not use that money to offset net revenues lost if the state chooses to cut taxes. Republican Attorney General Patrick Morrisey said on Tuesday, federal spending power has clear limitations. Congress may not micromanage a state's fiscal policies in violation of anti-commandeering principles, nor coerce the state into forfeiting one of its core constitutional functions in exchange for a large check from the federal government. Such economic dragooning of the states cannot withstand constitutional scrutiny. Well, on Wednesday, a Treasury Department spokesperson told The Hill, Congress may establish reasonable conditions on how states should use federal funding that the states are provided. Those sorts of reasonable funding conditions are used all the time, and they are constitutional. In the American Rescue Plan, Congress has provided funds to help states and gave states flexibility to use that money for pandemic relief and infrastructure investments. The law does not state that the states cannot cut taxes at all, and it does not say that if a state cuts taxes, it must pay all the federal funding back it received. It simply instructed them not to use that money to offset net revenues lost if the state chooses to cut taxes. So if a state does cut taxes without replacing that revenue in some other way, then the state must pay back to the federal government pandemic relief funds up to the amount of the lost revenue. The spokesperson for the Treasury added that the states are free to make policy decisions to cut back taxes, clarified that they cannot use the stimulus relief funds to pay for those tax cuts. All right, everyone, that is the end of the video this afternoon. I hope you found this video helpful. Please make sure to enter the $50 Amazon gift card by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and then commenting below. Thank you and have a very, very blessed day.